If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spray. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look. See, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to live with. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottom. Take 2 and pull out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
I just scraped it off the top, cut it out the road, out the curve, out the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but it meant a lot. Whenever she calls, look what I got to do. I'm moving with a tool, I paid it out the phone. Yeah, tell me what I gotta do.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Dolphins, and it's coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Miami Dolphins taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. So it all comes down to this. We are ready, and Super Bowl 58 off and running from New Orleans from the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On play action, now Rodgers. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Packers. for our first points in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and what we see here is something that we saw all year long from them. The ability to strike from anywhere on the field. How about the way they got us started in this one?
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Fields this way up at the 17. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handle winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team their best chance to win.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now Tua. He is going to find Hill here. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
2nd down and goal. Tua toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Chances are good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. A big one here early in this Super Bowl. It's 3rd and goal. Now this time, Tua's going to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
On the double.
Here we go on 4th down. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And some room to run now. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, there's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have him pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. To throw is Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll go again to Jones. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got his man, Thornton. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. Now a first down carry by Jones. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 7-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. 40 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. And his kick is good. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
Fields this way up at the 17. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Yeah, simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted But it winds up falling incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walk the ball his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Rodgers. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Throwing on 2nd down. Tua. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
43 rail. 6, 7. Ready?
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
From the left side, it's complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Let's go now.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
17. Drill 3.
Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high-percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Tua once again here on 2nd and 10. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. From the 3, 2nd and a yard. Looking to pass. Tua. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl, as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Fields this way up at the 17. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
He's going to air one out. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Noah Igbenogany that time up to make the play defensively. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Hensley. 70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Right. Yellow, blue. Go big. White, blue.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. A good gain on 1st, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Tua going to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Tagovailoa going to try and throw on third down. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Black Ultra. Blue striker.
On 2nd and 7, Tua. Flush to his right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Now, I know it's only a loss of a couple of yards, but when you get near the sidelines, just flip the ball out of bounds, incomplete, and save the yardage. Save the yards, not your stats.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are on the board here in this Super Bowl. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From the 10. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. If it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Completes this one to Thornton. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in this Super Bowl. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And the tight end goes in motion left. Up the middle, Jones. Taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. We are through 3 quarters of play. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Rodgers. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this could become a career-defining drive for some. Down 3, fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. This is where the legends are made in the National Football League as they begin this drive 1st and 10. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a give, right side. Hensley. And he'll take this one down near the 15. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Hensley. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 82 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while,
and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have regained the lead in the second half of this Super Bowl. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Looking left side, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Hensley. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Hensley, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dolphins are starting to pull away in the fourth quarter of this Super Bowl. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man, Amari Rodgers complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A good pickup there at 22. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agree. They have to up the tempo in this case. Down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Packers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about the season, Charles, that he continues to put together? That's now 25 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's getting into some very rarefied territory.
Yeah, it made you and I do a little extra homework prior to this one in anticipation because that one moves him past John Riggins with 24. He draws even with Emmitt Smith at 25 in 1995. Next up, Chris Holmes and Sean Alexander with 27. And the guy on top, LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, the Hall of Famer, he had 28 in 2006.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. From the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Yeah, another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Hensley, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 117 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
On first down, Hensley. Darnell Savage there to make the tackle. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And he will take this all the way down to the Packers' 12-yard line. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And the Lombardi Trophy has a home in South Florida. The Miami Dolphins are your Super Bowl champions. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.